Once, there was an ugly barnacle. He was so ugly that everyone died. The end. SpongeBob games are... yeah, we're just gonna pass on by that intro. SpongeBob games are usually pretty good. I mean, to be fair, if you put SpongeBob in anything, I'll probably love it. A while back, we checked out some SpongeBob games and had a pretty fun time, I think. But the world of SpongeBob games is vast. So today, we're gonna check out some more SpongeBob games. I mean, that's what the title says. And I'm not a liar. So let's begin. Alright, first game we're gonna check out is...
Yes.
I'm sorry, Plankton, but what exactly are you looking at? A magazine with Sandy on the cover?
What?
Whoa, okay. Do you mind sharing with the rest of the class? I regret asking. SpongeBob SquarePants Operation Krabby Patty is a game released on the PC back in 2001. Now, before even starting the game, you're given the option of choosing two different stories, the right side and the wrong side. Well, I'm a good noodle, so let's go with the right side.
The time has come to witness my greatest creation. Feast your eyes on this.
So in this story, Plankton creates a robot Mr. Krabs replica that's piloted by sea ants. I don't remember these characters in the show, but God are they horrifying.
Hey, Squidward! Hey, Squidward!
I will admit though, I love the cutscenes. Back in 2001, this was pretty impressive and was like getting a genuinely good bonus episode of SpongeBob. So our first minigame is Invasion of the Patty Snatchers. Here you take control of robot crabs, and it's the most cursed thing ever! Can you imagine waking up in the middle of the night to see this thing chasing you? The game itself is pretty simple. Just run around Bikini Bottom and collect Krabby Patty ingredients from the sea ants. Why are you doing this? What are your intentions? Are you related to the Pikmin? The area isn't too big at all, so you shouldn't have much of an issue collecting the ingredients. After that, we cut to the Krusty Krab, and SpongeBob notices that Robot Krabs is stealing the formula. SpongeBob needs to warn the real Mr. Krabs, but how will he catch up to them?
That's it! I'll go get my license!
Okay, so we need to get SpongeBob's license so he can legally drive and warn Mr. Krabs. This is a time-sensitive issue, SpongeBob! Do you know how long the line at the DMV can be? Literally! So yeah, SpongeBob has to take his driving test, and it's our job to drive him around this course safely. Or at least as safe as you can, controlling with a mouse and keyboard. Now you can tell this game takes place in an alternate universe, considering SpongeBob actually gets his permit. You know, despite me driving like... The rest of the game is pretty much the same. You walk around a map and need to collect items before the time runs out. Normally, I'd say this is a bad thing. However, it is charming and fast-paced enough that it doesn't get repetitive. Plus, the story keeps your interest enough to where you want to see what happens next. The wrong side storyline is much of the same. Literally, the driving course, collecting, just with a new story that ends up with Plankton's plan being thwarted and SpongeBob saving the day. Show of hands, how many of you cried during the first SpongeBob movie? And for those of you who didn't raise your hand, how does it feel being a dirty liar? The first SpongeBob movie was beautiful, a piece of cinematic art. But dang it, I want more! Luckily, THQ has got your back with the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, The Game.
I can't believe this is happening here!
It's horrible!
Yeah, you know how movies sometimes have deleted scenes or extended editions? This game essentially acts as an extended version of the movie. The game is a platformer in the same vein as Battle for Bikini Bottom. That game was so good that it really did set the standard for licensed games as a whole. And ever since then, most SpongeBob games have tried to emulate it, with varying degrees of success. The SpongeBob movie falls somewhere close. It's not as good as Battle for Bikini Bottom, but it's definitely up there. As I mentioned before, the game is pretty much playing an extended version of the movie. Level 1 has SpongeBob needing to traverse to the Krusty Krab to put cheese on this guy's Krabby Patty.
Say cheese. The beginning.
Yeah, a 1-minute bit at the beginning of the movie was given an entire level. The game uses a lot of assets from Battle for Bikini Bottom. The graphics, mechanics, music, almost everything. You'll also be collecting dumbbells for some reason. I don't get it. Something really cool is that the cutscenes use actual screenshots from the movie to tell the story, but not all the voices. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why they didn't have the rights to use some characters' voices, but not others. So, sometimes you'll get a really well-delivered line from Patrick, and then this...
It's 8 in the morning. Closed. Go collect your friend and get out of here.
From someone else. What, did they just get the pizza delivery guy who brought them lunch to record a few lines? Level 2 has us taking control of a drunken Patrick exploring a fever dream version of the Goofy Goober ice cream party boat. Now, I was going to comment more on the crazy nightmare landscape of this place, but we can just chalk it up to SpongeBob and Patrick being a little under the influence and hallucinating. But it still works really well. If you're a fan of the movie and want to experience a 10-hour version of it, then SpongeBob SquarePants the movie is for you.
I'm really scared, man.
Not you though, please stop talking. I'm kind of a stupid kid. I didn't play a lot of educational games growing up, so maybe that's why. But why bother playing them as a child when I could play them as an adult? Maybe then I'll finally be smarter. SpongeBob SquarePants Through the Wormhole for the Leapster Educational Console, ages 5 through 8. Yeah, that sounds about right. This thing will teach us all about addition, animal classification, and geometry concepts. I graduated high school barely passing geometry, and now you're telling me that 5-year-olds are doing it? So the game starts off with a cutscene with SpongeBob and Patrick talking about science and time travel.
It's believed wormholes are a way to travel through time.
It's pretty bad when you're the stupidest person in the room. A room that has SpongeBob and Patrick in it. Anyway, SpongeBob decides to time travel using a wormhole found in an apple. Because where do worms come from? Wormholes, obviously. So now to the gameplay. Our first game involves math. Ugh, I hate math! We take control of SpongeGar in the BCE times and play Frogger. It's pretty simple. Here we have 193, and it's our job to collect numbers that are less than 193. That's it, honestly. It's not rocket surgery. Just collect numbers and... Oh, I forgot I'm bad at math. Every single game on this cartridge follows the Frogger formula. Here we're in the medieval times and need to collect colors. That's yellow. That's yellow, and that's yellow. What is this? A game for babies? Now we're in the future with Spongetron. And here's where the game actually gets kinda informational. Our first task is to collect animals that are extinct. Hey, is that Mordecai? After that, we have to collect animals that are nocturnal. Seriously? I didn't even know what that word meant until I was like 16. So yeah, overall, SpongeBob Through the Wormhole is pretty good. If you're 6 years old and need an educational game. Or you're me. Alright, what else do we have? SpongeBob SquarePants The Yellow Avenger for the DS. It's everything I've ever wanted. So in this game, SpongeBob is hanging out at the laundromat with Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. I mean, come on! It's a popular hangout spot where the Dirty Bubble attacks the gang. Luckily, it's just the Dirty Bubble, and SpongeBob throws him into a washing machine. But this proves to be a mistake, because Mermaid Man's belt was also thrown in the wash, thus somehow creating multiple tiny evil dirty bubbles. And SpongeBob takes it upon himself to save the day. So we finally take control of the Yellow Avenger, and... it's not that good. It's a 2.5D side-scroller, meaning that you can really only travel left and right, but the game exists on a 3D plane, giving the illusion of 3D, when it's really not. The gameplay itself is also just super unimpressive. It's really slow, with almost nothing ever happening. Like seriously, this game is probably 70% vast open spaces. No enemies, barely any obstacles. What there is a lot of, however, is reading. Come on, I just played an educational game. Don't make me do more. And oh man, anytime you do anything, and I mean anything, the game has to load. And it's not like a quick load, no, it's like...
Oh, brother!
This game just has the aura of a bootleg mobile game. Yeah, with how little charm it has, I wouldn't be surprised if you found this on the App Store, created by some Russian developer. But there is a section where you milk a jellyfish, so I guess that's some points to it. SpongeBob games come in all shapes, sizes, and qualities. And while this one wasn't super good, just remember, at least we have the SpongeBob bootleg on Genesis. They can never take that away from us.